Well, hello, Psychic Craftswoman's podcast, vlog. Anyway, my name's Vera and this is episode 12 and I'm outside today. I always seem to talk to you better outside. It looks like it might rain, but never mind. We're under cover, so we won't get wet. I'm going to make some mud this morning. And I've got my tray. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to make some soil blocks. And this is for the little plant, put seedlings in. I've tried pots of varying shapes and sizes, bigger pots, tiny little pots and everything for growing seedlings. But you know, when those babies are needing to be put out into the real world, you have a job I have a job not to disrupt their roots. They don't like it. And they normally pick up all right, especially if you make the hole in the ground and pop a little bit of compost in just to ease the transition between the nursery life or the seedling or seedling stage, and then from seedling to teenage size and then maturity, where they're going to give you some fruit or harvest. I think it helps them if they don't have their feet upset, so their roots upset, which is why I like these soil blocks. Might be the way I transplant them that's the problem. Perhaps I'm heavy-handed, I don't know. But I mean, they're always all right when you take them from pot to ground, to earth. But I tried some of these soil blocks just as a trial a couple of months ago. So I know this looks a bit sickly, bless it, and I have neglected it. It should have been transplanted a few days ago, and it's complaining at me because it's saying to me, if you don't plant me soon, I'm going to give up. Oh bless. But I did put some of the soil block plants out in the raised beds, and they were very, very little, tiny little, but because I didn't have to disrupt their roots, you just dig a hole in the compost or the soil, and then plop the whole soil block straight in, and then just pad the earth back round the soil block. You can put quite young plants out. I've got these little ones to go out. Look, well, I don't suppose you'll see them very well. I don't know what they are. And there's loads of seedlings, little tiny baby seedlings in there. But I'm just going to put them out in a block. I'm not going to split them up. I don't know what they are. See, what I did was I made a couple of trays of the soil blocks using my appliance, and I just put some seeds in at random. So I don't know what I sowed. I know I did some beetroot and some bits and pieces, but what I like about these soil blocks is that you can do 2 or 3 of everything. I know you can do that in pots as well, but pots seem to be just more generally unwieldy. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to do. So I need to make some mud. So that's all I do is some cheapo compost from the local Brico Centre, and a DIY depot, and some more expensive seedling compost. I mix the two together, and maybe I'll put a little bit of sheep compost from last year in it, just so that the little seeds will think, oh, this is a nice place to live. So I'm going to do that. Mix it all in a bucket, wet it down so it's really, really sticky, and then I'm going to be doing my soil blocks. I was thinking, as I was getting all my things together to come out, I come out here with a big basket. I have to, when I come outside, I come out, load this up with all the things I need to be out in the arbory. Today I haven't got my knitting or crochet with me, but I'll go and get that in a minute, because I have to sit and knit and crochet as well. So it doesn't seem right just to be doing things like gardening stuff without having a few minutes of sit down time to do a bit of crafting. But I was thinking, do you know, there are two ways, or there's several ways you can be when you get older. I mean, I'm in my 70s now, 72, and I can either be miserable about getting older and worry about how long I've got here on earth. I mean, we all have aches and pains, even younger people have aches and pains. So, but as you get older, you will have aches and pains, because bits of the body start thinking, well, you know, you haven't treated me right, and I'm going to start going a bit slow on you. The bonus for me is that I've always done a bit of exercise, not all the time, but sporadically. Yoga was popular when I was in my 20s. The Beatles were busy with their Indian. I didn't follow the Beatles much. I thought they were a little bit soppy, even though they were of my age group. But they were in their Indian phase, so that made yoga popular. And in fact, that was the time of the flower power era of the 60s and the early 70s. Well, I missed all that because I was having babies, so it's on my periphery. I'm not bothered I missed out much. It didn't really look a lot of fun to me, all that free sex and all a little bit much. But I'm thinking, I also went to weight training, fitness training throughout my adult life as well. I went in the beginning because I was on my own, and there wasn't an opportunity to meet men. I'm not saying I was chasing the men, but I felt I needed to be seeing men, if you see what I mean. I never went wild like some people did or do, you know, drinking and going clubbing and all of that. I did go clubbing in my 30s, but I didn't go wild. But there weren't the clubs when I was younger. I don't miss out on that. What was I saying? I was saying that at my age, you can either moan about your health and worry about how long you've got left in life, or you can take each day what it has to give you and push into your background, the background of your mind, the fact that at any minute you could pass over. That's for all of us, you know, and to take each day as it comes and to try and enjoy what that day can give you will enrich the days of your life. I mean, I can either sit and complain about things that aren't right, or I can fill my days with doing things that are productive. That's what I was thinking as I was going to say. I was thinking to myself, I'm going to make some mud this morning, and it felt like a fun thing to do. For sure I've got some seeds I want to get planted, but it just felt not childish, but I felt in touch with my childlike inner self. I feel very glad that I've got in touch with this inner self. It's very nice to look at things around me through the eyes of, I'm going to say, simplicity. I can sit and watch the lizards on the wall, or the bees flying in and out of the roof. I don't know if they're there today, it might be a bit cold for them. Or I can watch ants going up and down the wall and see one of them carrying an egg, thinking, oh, that's going to set up a nest in the roof. Ought to be seen too. Yeah, you look at things properly. You're not so full in your head of stuff that you don't see what is around you. Makes a difference when you're older. I don't really want to be sitting in a chair in a mental fog. I want to have my mind interested in things. As a psychic lady, I am very sensitive. And I can get depressed very easily if I'm not balanced. And I have sat indoors, especially during the winter when it's chilly and you can't get outside, being depressed. I know what depression is, because I have to pull myself up out of it. But I have found keeping interested in craft, making things for the home and for myself and for the garden, just generally doing things, making things, not going places and being amused and occupied, kept occupied by watching the cinema or watching a show or going to a shop to amuse myself, amuse the hours of my day by shopping and buying things that aren't particularly needed. The key to staying smiling and happy at this age, like post 70, when those years are climbing up and there's a lot of life behind you, and that life can make you feel bitter sometimes. If you look back, you think, oh, I wish I could do that, or that person upset me, or why did that happen, and oh, woe is me. Very easily could I do that. I could look back and I think, oh, that wasn't very good. I lost out there, and I'm not done this, and I'm not done that, and why haven't I got the health to go on my bicycle? Why can't I go for long distance walks? Well, I could if I practiced enough, and I could get on my bike if I haven't got a bike, but I could get back on my bike. But what I would do is I would buy a bike, because I haven't got my bike anymore. I could get on my bike and I could do just up and down the road. Up and down the road every day for say a week, and then up and down the road around the corner for another week, and then up and down the road and round the corner and down the lane on the third week. If I did it slowly and took it steadily, I could get back on my bike. Don't think I'm going to. The saddle hurts my bottom, but the thought is there. So I could do the same with walking. I haven't walked. I used to walk a lot when I had my Springer Spaniel, Bully is his name. But when he died, our Rottweiler girl, she's not a walker, and she's a bit too big for me to take out. She's quite calm when she's walking along, but she's not really the dog I want to take out for a walk. She's more Lester's dog, my husband's dog, really. They're more the team. Although I do feel that there is a dog on the way to me. Just before I had Bully, I didn't want another dog, and I saw, clairvoyantly, I saw a little dog come romping down the stairs. I thought, oh, it's the upstairs crew, the universe preparing me to accept another dog. They knew that it would be good for me to have a puppy to train up. Be good for me and Lester. We weren't going to have children together, so it gave us our connection, something between us. And then I was in the library a few weeks later, and I was looking at a load of books, and I thought to myself, I wonder what dog it would be. Just not thinking of anything in particular, just one of those whimsical thoughts. Springer Spaniel, straight in my head came. That was the universe posting in clairaudiently the Springer Spaniel. What sort of dog's that? I don't like spaniels. Didn't fancy a spaniel at all. I moved along to the library books and found the breed, the Springer Spaniel, and was horrified at the look of it. Had great big long ears, and I just didn't float my boat at all. So I pushed it away. Just, no, I'm not going to have any of that. No. And then time went by, and I was looking at the local newspaper one Friday, it was Friday afternoon, I had my grandson with me, and I was just moseying my way through adverts, just the adverts section. I don't know why really, just having a browse, and there in the for sale section was Springer Spaniel pup, and without me even thinking, I was straight on the phone. Yes, it's available. And without me even thinking, and it happens often, it's like my feet are taken without me consciously thinking I'm going to go. It's like my feet go and I follow on behind. Well, I have to because my feet are attached to me. I took my grandson with me, and there he was, the last one in the litter. And that was it. It was love at first sight. 16 years he gave me. He was the best of dogs, but my goodness me, he was also the worst of dogs. If you have a Springer Spaniel, you know what they're like. They are springing, they are springer, they are lively. But he was my shadow, and I'll never want to have another dog like that. He was my, I don't know what it was between him and me. I couldn't ever pick him up and cuddle him. Well, he was too big anyway. But if I wanted to cuddle him, he'd go silly, you know, he'd roll over and go, ah, ha, 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 let's go play ball. He was never a dog I could sit and stroke. You know, oh, this is nice, this is comforting. No, because you just want to play, you just want to go soppy. Not soppy, but just playful. He's a boy dog anyway. So he didn't want to be doing with too much fuss. And he stayed full. We didn't have him castrated or anything, so he stayed in his full energy. So, yes, that was... Anyway, so where was I? Yes, keeping... I'm thinking that probably the universe is right in kind of giving me the feeling that there is another dog on the way. I probably need to have a dog to walk. I'm not quite so keen to walk by myself, and my legs are rumbling a lot at me. They're generally weakening, although they're stronger than what they were. If I wanted to walk a long way, I could. I just don't. But I do need to keep active on my legs, otherwise they won't give me the mileage that I do need from them. Bless them. So, I've been chatting away. Another thing with keeping, yeah, hopefully that'll stop it from going into sleep mode. 20 minutes and it says I've had enough, and it shuts itself down, even if it's on camera. Oh dear, I've made my... full of... Anyway, I'm in my gardening pinafore, so it doesn't matter that I've got a load of mud on the front of it now. At least it looks like a gardening pinafore and not pristine and tidy. Where was I? Yes. Keeping mentally active as well is important. I don't know what I would suggest for people, other than, for me, I just talk for me, because I don't know, people are different, every single person's different, every single person, absolutely everybody is different. So for me, I've got an investigative mind. If I've got a lot of interest. It would appear that I do a lot, but it's only because I'm interested. If I find something which is interesting to me, I will follow that through. And thank you to YouTube for, well, not thank you, because I can, when I'm tired, just click onto YouTube and then I'm off for hours watching I don't know what, just clicking, you know, not really watching anything much. But if I find something which interests me, straight onto YouTube I'll go and I'll follow through. What I mean is keep interested. That's what I mean. I'll probably delete this last little bit because I did ramble on a little bit. But just be interested. And if you're doing something, if you do have a project which is a bit difficult, don't give up on it. Park it up to one side, do another project for a little bit, go back to that other project, and you just might get on better with it. Crafting is making things, doing things. If I can make it, I will. I won't automatically go and buy something if I can make it. So that's how my mind has kept busy. Neither do I, for an older late person, neither do I plaster my face full of makeup. For one, my skin wouldn't like it because it has got more sensitive as I've got older. The only product I put on my skin is Vaseline, and only occasionally. Sometimes my face looks 100 years old and all kind of other times the skin looks quite tight. I don't know why that happens. I do the odd patch of face exercises. I've always done them. Just, you know, just roll the face around a little bit. That tends to keep everything up. Bearing in mind that if you don't use muscles, they'll sag. So if you're going to be like this, that's going to make you feel, poor old me, I'm miserable. But if you can put your face up, that helps the muscles because you're using your muscles. And if you smile, hey, try it with me. Go down. Oh. Oh. Go up. And how it seems to lift you up. You seem to get light coming into you somehow. Also, it's good for your face muscles. You do get crinkly around the eyes, but laughter lines are good. You don't want a face which is not seen life. You want a face that reflects how you've been through life. You don't want a face that is, what's that stuff you gel or something? Pump to Botox, is it? What? Oh, yeah. Where your face can't see. The celebrities do it, don't they? When your face can't see, you can't speak because your face is packed with the... What's the point in that? The bonus you have as you get older is your character. Let your character show through. You're old enough to be eccentric. People can't touch you when you're of an age. You can be as eccentric as you like. I think when you're younger, eccentricity is different. I don't think I was eccentric when I was older. I don't think I'm eccentric now. I'm myself, and that is the bonus of getting older in the right frame of mind, because you are yourself. You become yourself, because it doesn't matter, because you've lived all those years, you've travelled through all those years, you've gone through difficulties and ups and downs and lots of things which would have beaten you down, but you've got back up and you've travelled along your life's pathway, And you do get fed up with it sometimes. You do think, crikey, it's enough. I can't be doing with this anymore. I said that 2 years ago when I was in hospital. I laid in a hospital bed, and I don't want to go through because I've blathered on enough. I was so fed up with everything. I was so fed up. I just said to the upstairs crew, to the universe, take me over. And you know, straight away. And it wasn't just, oh, take me over because I'm fed up. It was, I'm done. You know, I'm done. I'm done. Time to go. You know, before ever I had a chance to think about it, to think, oh, well, do I mean it? Straight away, clairaudiently, it was, no. The upstairs crew were not going to let me go. They knew I had work to do. And they know they knew life was going to get better for me. It was all right anyway. But it needed tweaking. Things needed tweaking in my life. And it took 2 years to get the changes done in my life. But you know, it's a good old life. You know, I think before you pass over, it would be nice to think, or before I pass over, it'd be nice to think, I got my money's worth out of my life. For all my long life, I have got the most I could out of life. I haven't travelled around the world, neither do I want to. Travelling tires me. If I get on a plane, it will take me a couple of weeks to get over it because the pressure on my sinuses makes my head ache when you're coming down. I pick up bugs in the region to which I'm going to. I am immune to all the bugs and coughs and colds and everything here because I'm used to them. My immune system has learnt the various bugs and things, so it is used to it. But you travel to a different place and you're going to pick up something in that place, and that's going to have to get your immune system working to learn to immunise you against those viruses and things you can pick up. And anyway, I always want to be near a toilet. Some of the people I know have done trips in India on buses and things, and all I can think of is, where does she go to toilet? I don't know whether that's an old age thing or a thing that's been taught by my mother, because she used to always fret about the toilets, so it could, where the toilets were, so it could be passed on from her. I do tend to have a loose tendency towards loose tummy, so I would always want to know where the toilet was. But I don't think that that's a dreadful thing, because I mean, I was going to go out this morning to there's a vide grenier, what's that in English, like a boot fair on in Plaisance, and it was in my mind to go along and have a browse round, but I thought, no, it's more important for me to stay home and talk to you. I didn't intend to, it just, because I never plan to make the videos, I never know what I'm going to say. I don't sit down and make a list of things I need to say. I did try it, but it don't work. I'll just be pottering on, doing things, and then it's like a switch clicks on, and it's, you know, I go speak to people, speak to you. Anyway, I better shut this video down because it's going on for ages, and Lester will be cross with me because it will take longer. It will be longer than 30 minutes, and it burns up some RAM space, some technical space on our hard drive or something. He's working today. It's Sunday, but he's working today. It's the 19th of May 2019. So he has a lot of information on his computer which uses up memory. Does it sound reasonable? I don't know. And he's got this box which he points to and says, look, if you make big videos of longer than half an hour, and that's stored on that box as backup, that is going to chew the memory up on that box. So we've sorted that out, because I'm going to save my videos and that onto CDs. Nothing to do with you really. It's just that I really could talk forever what I wanted to, really. I won't feel so restricted by having to just chat for half an hour. Anyway, I think I've run out of things to say. Yes, I think the main topic for today was having the right attitude as you get older, not being afraid of. In truth, I'm not going to say that at the back of my mind I am aware that at some point I might be unable to live like I am living at the moment. The 2 years ago hospital visit brought that to my attention. I don't know what we will do as we get older and we maybe become less able, but if you focus on that, you start become less able now. If I start thinking, oh, I won't do that because it's too much for me, it becomes too much for me. But if I say, well, I might not be able to do that, but I can do that, which is 3/4 of what that is. I can't do that, but I can do 3/4 of it. Then I'm still in life and rising to the challenges of life. But the moment you start saying, oh, I can't do that, I can't, like a gentleman at church, we was talking about animals, I don't know what he was talking about, and he said, oh, my dog died and I'm too old to have another one. And the way he said it was, okay, I suppose if he had another dog, then, you know, if he had another dog, then maybe he would pass over and the dog would have to be rehomed. But to me it sounded like it was an excuse for him, that it was an excuse that he didn't have to cope with having an animal. Well, that's fair enough, but somehow it just made him seem older. You know, I don't know, he could get a cat. I suppose he's a cat person. It's none of my business. What I'll do is I'll send him a blessing out and say, be peaceful with yourself. That's what I need to do for him, just to send out heartfelt loving energies to lift him up. That I can do. I shouldn't discuss him. It's his. I wasn't criticising him, I was just thinking that perhaps he could do with another dog, but he's got his reasons, and he needs to live with those reasons. But I can send him a blessing from the heart to keep him warm inside. That I can do. I love life. But when my time comes to pass over, it'll be all right. I've had 3 trial runs already in my life. So I know the process. It's just like going to sleep. And I'll know when the time comes. You do know when the time is on you. And it's no good getting it into your head that you're going to die at some point, because we're all going to pass over at some point. Some of us will be, for some it'll be soon, for some it'll be later on. But if you say, oh, I'm going to pass over because I'm getting older, oh, woe is me, then you're not using your time here in a very positive way. So I'm going to shut up now. I don't know how much editing I'll do. I don't know whether I shall leave this. It's a funny thing with the last video I made. I was in the ditch. I was digging. I was in a kind of got a ditch place. I'm not going to go into that. It's on video 11 at the start of it. I didn't intend making a video, and then I was in the ditch doing some garden work, and it came upon me to get the camera, so I did, and I started chatting. 3 times I gave the introduction to that video, and I just kept it on. I couldn't get to the camera to switch it off, so I just left it rolling. I thought, oh well, I'll edit it later on. So come the evening when I'm editing the video, I chopped it. I thought, which of the introduction should I have? But I couldn't change it. It was like the universe put a block on me. They didn't actually say anything. I didn't receive any words or anything. It was just like a force said, leave it alone. So if I have my way, I shall probably trim this video. But if the universe wants it to go out, then it'll go out entire, and for that so I don't know whether I'm going to follow on with making the soil blocks. I might just do it quickly at the end, or whether I'll make another video. So thank you for sharing time with me, and the key to getting older and being relatively content. I don't think any human being can be absolutely content, but I think relatively content, then is making peace with yourself, letting what has gone be gone. Yesterday was yesterday, it is gone. No good thinking about it, no good worrying about it, no good thinking this person said that person said that, I should have done this, I should have done that, because it is gone. Think of it as turning the page in a book. That's what I do. If my mind becomes full of things, people I have said, I won't go into it now, otherwise this video is going to be 6 hours long, but I can absorb people's energies. Briefly, I can absorb people's energies, and they like stick in my head. So say at the crafting group I go to on a Thursday afternoon, it didn't happen this week, but the previous week, some of the things that were said, some of the people that were there, stuck in my head like glue. So on Thursday, sorry, that was on the Thursday, then on the Friday they're still there. And then on the Saturday they were still there, and on the Sunday they were still there. Well, we had other things that week which were sidetracking us, so I didn't pay attention to that. But after 4 or 5 days, these people were still stuck in my head. I was still thinking about the conversation, what I said, what they said. Round and round it was going, like a tape recorder going round and round and round and round. And I stuffed that. So I made a positive effort. I think this was on Sunday night or Monday morning. I sat down and I wiped my mind clean. There's ways you could just simply, it's a bit more complicated for this, but simply I just visualised a page turning, so that I had a white sheet of paper in my head, a white sheet, page turned, previous, that's the chapter closed, that was the days were gone, they're behind me, conversations can't be rewound, what was said, what they said was said, what I said was said, so let it all go, let it go, shut it down. Duh. And then I started off Monday with clear, and every time the people popped back into my head, I just visualised the sheet, that page turned, that blank screen up there, and it kept my mind clear. And for this last Thursday, what I did, I sat in the car park after the craft afternoon, lit and natter group, and just said thank you to the universe for the companionship we felt on that afternoon. Let them all be at peace. Just spent a moment thinking of everybody, switched the car on, and I had no memory of the of that afternoon at all. I couldn't tell you what we spoke about because that was previous, and that's how you get you're calmer in yourself, you're quieter in yourself. And I think when you're older, you've got all those years of thinking about what people said, what happened, what here, what there. So it's a bit more difficult sometimes to I don't say wipe the memory, but to put that memory into the background. Especially if people have hurt you. That I'll go to another day. So, I'm going to make some dirt. Catch you soon. Thanks for listening. Go. Yeah, thanks for listening. So, you take one bucket of water, or a little bit of water, and you keep working in the compost until it's like this. So you only hold it, it keeps its shape. A bit like making a cake really, or pastry, or something. Really. Anyway, that's about the consistency we have, which is jolly good, because I'm just going to do a little bit, I think, because this bucket's going to be heavy. It's not very good compost, but I'm going to put some better compost in it in a minute. Ah, cheers. Okie dokie. I've been having a think about what I said, and I just move you a bit closer. Yeah. I think I am vastly helped to be getting the best out of my life at this age. By the fact that I know that the universe is there, that I'm part of the universe, that it's easy for me to forget how it must be for those people who don't have the connectivity to the universe. But I've earned that connectivity. The opportunity was given to me by the universe in my 30s to accept this connectivity, and I didn't push it away. I argued, I often felt bewildered, but I never pushed it away. But if I did I never pushed it away. I stood back often for a while, but then I would always come forward and accept the continuing connection that I was evolving with the energies of the universe. I mustn't forget that for those of you who have not understood this connection, or have not wanted this connection, or don't know how to have this connection, it must not be such an easy ride when you get to 70 plus. I'm sorry, I would not like to let you think that I'm dismissive. I forget what it must be like for those of you who have reached this time of life and have not developed their sensitivities, their intuitiveness. They haven't allowed that development of that finer self, that intuitive self. Crikey. That's quite something that came to me, and I felt a little bit ashamed, because I thought, well, I'm going on, I'm smiling happy. I said, yeah, it's great, but it's not going to be great for some of you. If I could, or when I can, like that man I spoke about just a little while ago with the dog who died, and he's just waiting to die, really, to pass over, really. That's what I think he is he hasn't got that light in him, you know. What I can do is channel light into him, into his heart centre. I can do that. I can ask the universe for help for him, that he feel calm and at rest for the rest of the days that he has here. I do that for a lot of people. I do it for whoever I know to be in this kind of no man's land of waiting to pass over. So I'm going to close this video off now. I'm going to carry on with my planting of the seeds, and I'll follow that on to the next video. It isn't important. What is important that I send love and peace out to you if you need it.